Oh my god, it's Indigo plant! Alive and well. Or as alive as they can be. Oh man, I need to move that window down, don't I? Alright, Silverharp, let's move your chat window out the way. Boop. It's just the band anyway, who cares? They're all in the same kinship. So what are we doing tonight, kids? We are standing on a precipice. No. We are hanging out in the Indigo plant neighborhood. I have been haunting. I have been stalking the broker. I noticed the other day that after the downtime, as I was running my butt through Rivendell, trying to, get stuff ready, planning, blah, 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 I noticed a little flag on the minimap. If you stand on the porch of the last homely house, there is a housing broker to the left of the little hallway leading in to the door. And I happened to notice the flag hovered over it and it said Rivendell Housing Broker. I'm like, oh. And I was like, what? Is this going live or not? And then I looked at the release notes. This is not published on the Rivendell Homesteads page. This is not published on the Update 48 page, which first announced, hey, we're doing Rivendell Housing. It was actually mentioned on the 48.1 release note page from Wednesday. And basically said, oh, hey, he's going to be at the last homely house. And, well, I found out where the hell that was. So, yay. Chat is not here. Chat is on the screen up here. So I'm going to be doing this a lot when I go look to see what people are saying in chat. So here's the entire band. The band has 7 members in it. So we're going to have a fight. Well, actually, we're not going to have a fight over who gets which house. I have to decide who gets which house. And if you like, you can help me think about this, because I don't yet know, other than the fact that I had a laundry list of about 7 neighborhood names that I wanted. I would be okay. I really wanted or would be okay with living there. The one that I found, that I got the entire neighborhood for, and yes, I'm going to decorate all of these houses. That is the plan, is to decorate all of these houses. Because I have enough things to get that I can do that. And I would also like to point out that all 7 members of the band are actually logged in separate windows, not automated. I am not multi-boxing the way most people multi-box. I've got 7 windows open and they're cascaded. And if I just mouse over, it'll turn off the AFK flag. One really cool thing about how Lotro and DDO both work is if you have their window open and you have them in windowed mode, which is what I have. I normally play the game in windowed mode because I have a 55-inch screen. And I love the fact that I've got a 55-inch screen because I can tile 8 game clients on it and still see everything. Well, not everything, but enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave the band behind because I, again, don't automate all this shit, and it's a pain in the ass to put everybody on follow. We're going to take a look at each house. We're going to turn on the lights. And I think I have it set up so that all kinnies will be able to look at all of the houses that I own for the kinship, or under the kinship character, the kinship builder character. Set everything up so I could just do whatever. So Silverharp is going to leave the band behind for a moment, and that's why she also has her own house in a completely separate neighborhood. What happened was there are 6 houses in a neighborhood, 7 members of the band. I decided Silverharp is a goddamn diva. She's a high elf, and she needed the best house, the one that she liked the best. But first of all, let's go take a look. We are actually outside our kin house. Uh-oh, Violin is idle. Where's Violin? Hold on, Violin. Oh, Violin's window is here. Hi. All right. I think I got the windows tiled right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, the windows are tiled good. Alrighty. Let us go take a look. So yeah, this is, by the way, the indigo plant look. This is, hold on. This is what we look like. Let me turn that off for just a second. So this is our outfit. Many thanks to the friends who decided what our outfit should be. And in homage to our dear friend Titi, almost every member of the band is a hunter. Why? Because speed boosts, and as you level up, you can get teleports. It's fine. It's all good. Hey Zin, how you doing? So this is the kin house. It is the biggest house. So we're going to do a quick tour of the house. I am going to turn on the lawn lights, as it were. We're going to see all of the hooks that we're going to be able to play with. I will like to point out that Scenario did a bang-up job in shrinking the size of various hooks so they don't overlap, so it's easier to actually click on the correct one to place your decorations. The cool thing about the kin house is that it does have a little bit of a view over the troll shaws. You want to come out by the back side of the house? I said backside. And you get a good view down into the troll shaws. So yeah, pretty cool. Inside the kin house, one of the things about Rivendell housing that Scenario has talked about is the fact that he made it so that the inside footprint matched the outside footprint as well as he could. So, again, here's the kin house. Here's this nice vestibule, nice sweeping stairs up here. Kind of missing a few windows, though. I do miss me some windows up here. So here's a couple of rooms up here. There's a main wing. I'm just gonna run through this really quickly. I'm not gonna do a long tour here. I'm probably gonna mess around with decorating in a little bit. I do like the fact that there is safety railing. Safety is important. So here's like a little thin room. Might be a little sitting room. Maybe make it a little kitchen. And this room is actually probably my favorite in the kin house because it's a concert hall. It's totally a concert hall. Unfortunately, if you put a band like down here, I really love this. You can make if you had like a water floor decoration, you can make it like a little wading pool. But this would be a great concert hall. I do really like it a lot. And I do also like the various ceiling things and also the new hook. Look at the universal hooks. Universal hooks. Yes, universal hooks. I love them. But I also like the fact that now we have ceiling surfaces. And so we can now change out the ceilings if we don't like the ones that are there. We also can change out what's going on in the tower. I kind of wish there was... Oops. Ouch. Let's not do that again. It's like a little clock tower, but you can still adjust the things up there. But it looks like I have to be on the higher level to do that. So this is the kin house. It's very pretty. I think there's something else in here. Yes, it has a basement. Why? I guess we're going to store bodies down here, I think. Bodies of groupies, so... Maybe old Rebel Base will make a little thing down here. But yeah, just a little bit of a basement so you can have like a storage area. You can make like maybe a little private office. So it's kind of cute. There's definitely some things you can do with that. So again, there's a lot going on here with the kin house. So that's the kin house. This is the most expensive house. It goes for 1110, so 1,110 mithril coins. I honestly, for 222, I think. The prices are actually on the Rivendell housing page, so I highly recommend you going to that page. And I'm actually going to link it in chat here for you. So if you want to see the prices and do the thing. Now, the Steadings launched today, and there was a problem where things weren't launching very well. There was definitely a concern put out by the community with reference to the fact that they were rolling it out with so few houses or few neighborhoods to begin with. And on some of the more populated servers, like Mariadoc, Orcris, Glamdring, we all kind of thought that those would be having the worst troubles. Come to find out, it was actually Peregrin that had the worst trouble. So that was a little bit of an adventure. So there's the housing guide that will tell you everything you need to know about housing. But let me run past the band again. Hi, kids. Y'all stay here. Be good. If you can't be good at it. All right. So, I'm going to show you a little document that I wrote. It's just literally a notepad thing. And we're going to keep this in mind as we run around. Let me turn that on. Yep. I'm going to make that smaller because I can... Oh, hello. I can read that. We're going to put this over here. We're going to put it over my lovely, beautiful logo. So, who gets to live where? And that's a very important question because each member of the band will want a specific house. And we're going to see what kind of triggers my fancy, and also what kind of triggers my fancy when I think as if I were the members of the band. Maybe, I should introduce you to the band. Let's go back and introduce you to the band here in just a second. What was I doing? I was looking for that file. It's like, what window is it on? Which screen is it on? Okay, it's here. So I'm going to bring this up here so I can click on it whenever I want to. Okay, so who gets to live where? So the houses in Rivendell. I said I was going to introduce you to the band. Let me introduce you to the band. Alright. Silverharp is, as her name implies, she's the leader of the band. She is the one who plays the harp, surprisingly. My band is named after the primary instrument that they play. So Silverharp plays mostly the harp. She also plays the lute, the various lutes if she needs to. Then we have Cowbell, who plays the cowbell, surprisingly. She also winds up playing flute and clarinet when necessary. Drum solo just plays drums. Drum solo just only plays drums. Then we've got in the back row, we've got Nagpipes, the only Bjorning of the crew. Cowbell, the hobbit, is just regular hobbit. Silverharp is a high elf. Drum solo is a stout axe. Nagpipes is a Bjorning, and she plays the bagpipes. That's her primary thing. Then next to her we have violin. You can't really see their names very well, cause, whatever. Let me highlight them one at a time. So we have cowbell. We have drum solo. We've got nagpipes. We have violin. We have rebel bait. Nope, wrong character. Come on, back here. Bassoon. Yeah, so violin plays basically the fiddles, the violins, primarily. She can switch out as necessary. Bassoon plays the bassoon. He's a regular elf. And violin is a woman, a race of man, a lady. And finally, rebel bass is my 80s hair band dude playing the bass. And yeah, rebel bass is a pun, a Star Wars pun. Luenori! Luinori and Guerendis bought houses in probably the most ironically and fun named neighborhood. That I love the fact that the name was so close. I wouldn't want to try to compete with her to get a house in the neighborhood almost named after her. Well, it's not that it's named after her. It's just the naming is almost the same as hers, and that would be our dear friend Eldalef. So Rebel Bass plays the bass, and he's my hairband dude. So I'm gonna give you like a closer look at the band here. I'm gonna turn nameplates off as well, so you can just see everybody. So this is drum solo. This over here, who is AFK? Shame on you. Here, I'm gonna make you un-AFK. There you go. It's Cowbell. She's my hobbit. Then we got Nagpipes back here, Bjorning. I'm gonna scooch closer. Excuse me. See, look, Nagpipe. She looks amazing. I'm looking forward to the Bjorning update that they've talked about. And again, Violin of the Race of Man, wearing one of the latest hairstyles the Race of Man got. Then, of course, we've got... I think Bassoon's a little bit cranky. I think he's the one who's going to be the most salty about what house he gets, because I think he's gonna get he's gonna wind up with a house that he thinks that he got insulted. And Rebel Bass just doesn't give a damn. He could sleep on a couch and he wouldn't care. He's a pretty boy. He's a pretty boy. So the houses we have, as you can see in the notepad file over there. I'm actually going to turn off my playback to see if it'll help my processor. Back to what we're doing. All right, back to what we're doing. Turn my name back on. I am indeed a Weatherstock bard. I did play one song, guesting, sitting in with the Mardi Gras party band. Thank you, Kengus, for letting me play. I believe I played the drum for the 1812 Overture. Or it was something where I didn't have to do very much. It is what it is. So that being said, I'm actually going to kill all the band clients, because you don't need to see them anymore, and I really do need to focus, and my CPU is getting thrashed right now. Even though I have everything turned all the way off, it's still causing a mess. So it's because I'm running on a 3060. No, it's a 3060, I think, and it really is not happy right now. It's almost like, you know, when World of Warcraft would hog up like 10 gigs of RAM. Like, what are you doing over here? All right, so band has gone bye-bye, except for Silverharp. Let's turn her stuff back on. So yeah, you can see everybody. Oh, we lost you in the raid. Oh no. So I'm gonna move Silverharp's window down here so I can see it better. And I have the kin leader who bought all the housing. I've decided she's the band's tour manager. And man, who would want that as a neighborhood name? Seriously, they just released a whole bunch of new names on thingy. I think Caressa's just going to dismiss people from the raid. I mean, I could just literally just nuke the raid itself. Hold on. I'm not playing. There we go. Cleaned up the window. All right, let's go. So let's take a quick look at the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood map, as we can see. So here's the names. And I kind of wrote a little notes about what name means what, or what name, like, where is it? Why would somebody like this? So we have, we're going to start here. This is One Welling Way. It's a deluxe house. It's close to the kin house, which is really nice. See, you can see I'm here at the junction here on about to go onto Welling Way. And it does have a river view right here. Got a little bit of a river and a bridge view, so it's kind of nice. To Welling Way is the kin house. It's secluded, but it does have that back view off into the Trollshaws. But it is kind of secluded on its little path there. Then we have 3 Welling Way, which is another deluxe house. And this one is close to the kin house, which is really nice, but it's also secluded, a little bit out of the way of everything else, and so it's kind of neat. Then we have down here 1 Heiberg Rogue. Well, you can't see my cursor. That's unfortunate. So, and I can't click on it. You can't see my cursor. That's horrible. So we have 1 Heiberg Road, which is literally right to the left. Right to the left. It is to the immediate left and up on a hill from the town services. So if you had 1 Heiberg Rogue, you may run the risk of running off your property, trying to get to town services, and going splat bottom. There's 2 Heiberg Road, which is right. It's under the words Heiberg Road, and it's on a lower level. It's like 1 Heiberg is way up. You can have a really awesome view of the entire neighborhood. 2 Heiberg is got a bigger lawn and has a smaller leap down to the town services. Then over to the right-hand side, you have Torrent Path, which you have 1 Torrent Path, which is right above the Blue Horsehead for the far-ranging Stable Master. And honestly, I was a little bit surprised that 2 Torrent Path, the deluxe house up to the right, is actually the one that seems to go the quickest, because the reason 1 Torrent Path appeals to me personally is because it's got the best view down to the last homely house, and I'll show you what this looks like. And 2 Torrent is really nice because it's a deluxe house. It does kind of have that view. But I think it's got a different sort of view. So I'm going to hop on a war steed. All of my band actually have Valars. They all got Valars because in the 15th anniversary, everybody who logged in got Valars. Okay, we just passed... So here's what the kin house kind of looks like from a distance. I lied. We're actually now riding up to 3 Welling Way, I said. I can't count. 2 Welling Way is the kin house down there. This is 2 Welling Way. So it's kind of up against the rocks. So I could see that this might appeal to our Stout Axe friend. So that is pretty cool. You can see 1 Heiberg Road way over there. But let's go take a look at 1 Welling Way. Now, the footprints within the base houses are the same. So 1 highway or Heiberg is going to be the same as 1 Torrent Path inside. It's just like what they look like depends on what their exteriors are like. So this is what the kin house looks like. And this is how long of a ride you have to go up to it. And here is the house closest to the kin house. So this is 1 Welling Way. And so this one has a really nice view of, Heiberg. It's got the nice bridge. You got the creek here. Yes, I said creek because I'm from the Midwest. We say creek. And what's really nice is you got a fishing spot right there. Right off your fence. So, and here's what the yard hooks look like. Let's go inside. We're not going to go inside all 7 houses, or all 6 houses, because again, the 2 deluxe houses, the 2 base houses, and then the 4 deluxe houses, all of their interiors look the same. So this is what a deluxe house looks like. We got some lighting hooks. We got this nice clock tower kind of thingy. You can decorate this whole thing. We got a ceiling hook. We got a light hook. We got more light hooks. We've got wall services, wall colors, ceiling services, surfaces, ceiling colors. All right, and we've got this over here. This one also has a basement. Honestly, I kind of like the basement here more than I like the basement in the kin house. I'm not going to lie. It's got these little rooms. And one thing I do kind of wish they could have done with the interiors, and I understand from, you know, having had long chats with Scenario at PAX East about this and a bunch of other things, and also listening to his various live streams, of which he's got another casual stroll coming up next week. At the time of this recording, this live stream. I smell cupcakes. Why do I smell cupcakes? Because I've got cupcakes. I got mini cupcakes in celebration of Rivendell housing. So, yeah, we got a bunch of rooms that we can do a bunch of decoration. But the one thing I wish they could have done was a little bit more circular stuff. The best they can do is do these, you know, angular sort of walls. Because circles in video games are a pain in the ass, are almost impossible to make. Actual real circles. You always have to make, you know, little slivers of not circles to make a circle-ish shape. So this one, I'm not really sure about this, though. This, I mean, I kind of like it, but I'm not sure what I would do to decorate this. Like in the Kin house, that one long room that I was like, oh, this could be a concert area. It also could be like a great hall. It could be all kinds of things. I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of what can you do with this space without redressing it so it doesn't look like a Rivendell house, because that is like god tier housing decoration. I can't do that shit. I'm not that good. That being said, I keep looking, refreshing the list on my other screen, or my other thing to say, is the neighborhood I'm looking for? Because what I'm going to do is, again, I wrote a list of neighborhood names that I really wanted, and this was on my list. The one that I'm in is one that was on my list. It wasn't my favorite, but it was on the list because of the definition, not because of what the name looked like. But there are some that I like the name for, like, the one that I'm not going to say which one it is, obviously. But the one that I want is a name that goes back in my Tolkien fandom. It's part of the name, harkens back to something that is important to me from my young kid having first read, Tolkien. Is like, oh, I like this thing. I like this word that Tolkien made. I like this Elvish word. And so there is a neighborhood that has that Elvish word as part of its name. And that's the neighborhood I wanted second most. The one that I wanted the most, I actually have a house in. I got the one Torrent Way, which is the one that I wanted the most out of all of the 6 houses, the personal houses. Pardon me, it's actually getting cold in my office. I know why. It's cold outside. Alright, here we go. George is a little chilly. Chilly down, Alright. That being said, so this is the interior of a deluxe house. So the rest of this we're going to focus on what are you going to do for decorations? How do you decorate your things? Well, we're going to show that after we show off the various houses. So one thing I like about this house, your yard, you can look up and see Orion over the hill, which is really, really cool. Now we're going to go cross over to the actual street here, hit Heiberg. And so this is the one. It's like there's a lot of lawn here without housing hooks, but you can really adjust things on the ones you see here. Like the enormous ones, even though the hook looks kind of small, the hook used to be ginormous, as the name implied. But this one's really nice because you have town services like right down here, and it looks like if you yeet yourself off of your wall here, hold on, you're not going to actually get defeated. Yeah, you're not going to get defeated by jumping down there. So for anybody who lives here, this is going to be super convenient to get to town services. Let's go up to the one on top of the hill, because this one has the most amazing view. Because you can look down in the entire neighborhood from here. And this one up here will be 1 Heiberg. I know the game is actually pretty quiet because I was playing something that was actually very loud last night. So I had to turn it down. There, you can at least have some Rivendell music to tide you over. And also, I'm going to remove all quests. So this one, I think, has probably the best bang for the buck in terms of, you know, the 2 Heiberg houses. This one has, like, the ratio of, like, how many hooks versus how much space you have is really, really cool. And this one, again, this is a base house, so it looks the same as... Well, we haven't looked in a base house yet, have we? No. So, let's go look inside the base house. This is very cozy. It's, like, cozy, kind of like the small houses in Falothlorn, but bigger. I mean, it's not as cozy as them, or as tiny as them. So you got this room over here. You got this room. This is your main room. You got this little back room. You also even have a basement. So every house has a basement. Because you never know when there might be like a hurricane or Balrogs invading or something. I don't know. So the basement here is kind of small. But again, this is like super cozy. This is like super duper cozy. Like if they had toilets, you could put like a little toilet bed down here. But you know elves don't pee or poop, right? You knew that, right? Right? So this is a nice little house. And again, it's bigger than Falothlorn's smaller houses, but it's not too big, if that makes any sense. And again, I keep refreshing the list because I never know when my favorite house is going to come up. Okay, and here's what the upstairs looks like. This could be a nice, kind of, I don't know. I mean, the columns are a little bit off-putting, but they're also very important because they're load-bearing members. So you kind of need them. All right. I'm going to turn off the hooks because the hooks are pretty much the hooks. And look how much space this yard has to play with. Like, for Waterbank Road in Falthorn, you get, what, 3 yard hooks to play with? And I do not recommend jumping down from here. Do not recommend. But you can look across. That's 1 torrent path over there. And that's 2 torrent paths up around the mountain. I do like... again, you don't really get a good view of anything else in the neighborhood from here, necessarily. Well, actually, I lied. You do. You get, actually, probably the best distant view of the entire neighborhood from here. Because you can see, you know... 1 Welling Way, you can kind of... The kid house is still secluded from you. But 3 Welling Way is visible. 2 Torrent Path is secluded. But you can see the other houses. You can see the town services. So I would say this one has probably the biggest view, right? Like, this is the one that's got probably the most unobstructed view of Orion, aka Manel Makar. You also get a good view of the moon. You can kind of see the Valkyria, which is the plow, aka the Big Dipper right here. Hi, Twin Bran! You bought the Torrent Path standard house. The door is there, but the house isn't. Yeah, they'll fix it. Yeah, put in a bug report. Do a /loc. Make sure you have the location in your ticket. Because it may just be that one house on that one server. You won't know, and they won't know unless you... Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. Da, 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 da. Let them know. Na, na, na. Alright. Let's go look at 1 and 2 torrent paths, since those are the last 2 we have to look at. And we're going to ride our steed. So yeah, Hyberg Road is actually really nice because the proximity to town services and the view from one. I mean, one of the things that Scenario had been trying to hammer into our little heads the entire time was how their intention was not to have a special chase house, like the house that everybody wanted. Despite his best attempt, though, Arawan. Hi, you can't have any of these houses. They're mine. Um, they're all mine. Though you don't know they're mine because I'm not on the character, at least the one you're seeing in game. You're not seeing the character who actually owns the neighborhood. So this one is also like there's this big pile of yard with no hooks to play with. So, and we know Scenario is always really careful about housing hooks, and so there's always a reason for that, right? Performance is always the #1 concern. And again, the inside's going to be the same as the other deluxe houses. But I'm still a little baffled why this one was the one that everybody was buying. I don't get it. I mean, yeah, you get a view down to the oops, hold on. You do get a view down into the valley. Down in the valley. So, yeah, I can kind of see the last homely house. Not really. Honestly, I can't see it from here. But I don't know why this one was the one that everybody wanted. But actually, I think I do know why. Now that I'm looking at the property a little bit more, I'm thinking, while it does have a bit of yard that doesn't have housing hooks on it, like this bit of yard over here and this bit of yard, I think there's a lot more housing hooks in fortuitous places than are on, say, the one Hyberg address. Okay, and then we're going to take a quick look at the last house, which is my particular favorite. And yes, I could have just ridden my war steed down, but look at dumbass. I didn't know it. Because one torrent path, again, I thought that the base houses were pretty cozy. And I can find a lot that I can do with those. I can find a lot I can do with any of these. So, this one, the only thing that's, you get the view, the two Hyberg addresses, right? So that's really nice. You get the view of that. You get the view of the bridge. You get a little bit of view of the water. And you also can see down into and get a quick run over to, like if you jump down here, you're like right across the bridge to town services. So that's super convenient. But this one also gives you a really good view of Menelmakar, aka Orion. And you got some mountains in the background. You got the waterfall in the background. You don't really get a good view of the Valkyria, though. So there is that. But the reason I liked this one the most was this is the one that had the best view down into the valley to see the last homely house. Let's see if I can find it here. It's really hard to see because it is nighttime. But you can see like the path going up into the moors over here. And the path going across the thing. So it'll be better to see in the morning in game time. But it is late watches, so it'll come to daytime here in short order. But so that's the neighborhood itself. So this is what everything looks like. These are where the housing hooks are. Again, 4 deluxe houses per neighborhood, 2 standard base houses per neighborhood. The interiors of all of those houses, the 2 base houses are the same, the 2 deluxe houses are the same, and then there's 1 kid house per thing. So town services, you can see how easy it is to get there from one torrent path. And you got your tasks boards that I think MVP said he's working on something about them. You got your healer, you got an auctioneer, you got your vault keeper, housing furnisher, hello.
How may I be of service to you?
So there's a lot of the same housing furnishing stuff that we've seen before. I highly recommend going to D&Co de Milieu because our boy Yao has been killing it with keeping all of the new housing items on his website to where everybody can take a look at what they'll look like. So some of these are on all of the housing furnishers. Some of them are specific to Rivendell. Alright, we also have our provisioner. We have a forge master. We've got a supplier. We've got crafting stations. We got a backwards beer keg. Everybody's noticed that the beer keg has the tap on the wrong side. Look at the swan tap there. It's on the wrong side. Standing Stone is aware. They'll fix it. And then finally, you've got your in-neighborhood housing broker. This dude.
Greetings, friend. How may I be of help?
And this is how you buy a neighborhood, or buy houses in a neighborhood, is you go to a broker. The various brokers are available. There's this one here in every neighborhood. There is one in the Bree office, the Bree housing broker office, just due south of the town hall. There's also one on the porch of the last homely house. So that's a whole thing. And the broker will only show you what's available. However, in the broker office, there's a book, a tome near him that you can click on that will let you see any of the neighborhoods, whether they're bought or sold or bought or free. And also, it's basically the same mechanism, the same portal that you can get to from outside the housing instance. I would also direct your attention to the fact that he has a quest for you. The quest...
You may be of service to me.
Basically, you go wandering around, you get a little goodies, and you get a housing decoration. Now, the Imladris visitors are basically housing property guards in the form of Elrond, Arwen, and Glorfindel, I do believe. The housing brokers also sell things.
Greetings, friend. How may I be of help?
So the housing brokers will sell specific housing items for that neighborhood, as well as some standard stuff like, black wall paint, black floor paint. But some of these are specific to Rivendell. And some of them are, again, available anywhere. So, again, the ones that are specific to the Rivendell housing broker, go to D&Co de Milieu, and Yao will have them all listed, which one goes where. So there's a whole pile of things there. There's also a final pile of things that I'm aware of. And we're going to use my handy-dandy horsey here. Here's our stable master. Hold. Back here. Alright, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Alright, come here. I mean, too many requests. Game? Sometimes war steeds are
Make of Onin.
So these are the places you can get to. Many places looking very familiar. And, as always, I know sometimes this does come up. There are people who wish, oh wish, oh wish, that they would add Lindleby to these. Good luck. Oh, this character apparently hasn't opened... oh, I can't use it because I'm not... my band accounts are not VIP, so... Alright.
Greetings to you.
Hello, good boy. Alright, so let's go outside. The natural / role-playing way to get to the neighborhood, I'll show you that real quick, is there's this portal. Oops, and you run into a wall. Hi Gideon, how are you doing? So it's basically this thingy here, right here, and it's just a thing. And if you try to click on it, it will present to you, again, all of the neighborhoods that are spawned in on the server. And the really cool thing is, it will tell you which one you have properties in. So look at all these beautiful names. The one name that I've been looking for hasn't spawned in yet. But this is my favorite till here. That's the one I like the most. Because it's Moon River. I mean, that would be funny for a band to have Moon River as a name. But alas, not gonna happen. So this is, by the way, this is the bridge going over to the guest house where Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas and Boromir hang out. And the stables are over here. So the stables are like right over here. See, there's the stables of Rivendell up there. And I'm gonna go and show you the last thing you need to know about where to get housing decorations. There's 2 places, and we'll take you to both. Because there's all kinds of Rivendell housing. They basically, Scenario just said, "You guys want Rivendell housing? Here, Rivendell housing."
Hail, friend, and well met.
Hi. Coney Slayers. I mean, the character's Coney Slayer. That's amazing. All right. You come to the last homely house. You see my alt. Idling on the porch. And now she's not idling because I waved my mouse over that. So, again, same housing broker. Hi. Yes, why are your shoes messed up? Her shoes should not be white. Her shoes are actually blue. I don't get it. Anyhow. Again, housing brokers. The housing furnishers. And if you have reputation with the elves of Rivendell,
Sweet-eyed Melon.
This guy has some brand new housing decos as well. Okay. Very nice. We're gonna take a side trip to Bree for just a second because there are 2 places you can get Rivendell themed housing decos right now. One is from Rowan Raspberry, the seasonal Figments of Splendor vendor. I love saying that. Monothlair has been decorating so much! I'm actually surprised nobody is playing music right now. Or, actually, I'm taking forever to load in, apparently. I lied. Rabbit Hole is playing. Sorry. I didn't see you. So, if you want more housing decos based on Rivendell, you're going to come over here and you're going to talk to Rowan Raspberry.
What can I do for you today?
She has got the Rivendell outfits that are available now. The new Rivendell stuff that you can basically look like the NPCs. And there are housing decorations. All themed after Rivendell. Portraits of Elrond. Rivendell portrait set. Tapestries. We've got plenty of tapestries. But if you are a Scottish lord, then I am Mickey Mouse. Look at one of my favorite popcorn flicks of all time, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So again, more More Rivendell stuff. So I've already blown through a ton of figments on various, on my main account. So I need to go earn some more. I need to earn some more figments. Figments. Checking the list again. The neighborhood's not up. Okay, so the final place you can get a Rivendell housing is also the other place that you can find a Rivendell broker. Well, here in Lalia's Market. And come down here. And by the way, all of these lead you, these are broker boards. If you didn't know this, by the way, these are broker boards. You can buy, it's the housing broker for each neighborhood. So when they put these in, everyone's like, oh, is that Rivendell? That's how they announce Rivendell housing, honestly. Oh man, I have one of these. I got that. Couple of the Rivendell things are currently only available by loot boxes. Sorry. But I do really like this. I do like this a lot. Very detailed miniature Last Homely House. For real. But anyhow, this had been taunting us for months. Because when Scenario revamped Lalia's and put all this stuff in here, he put this this picture here. And we were all like, Rivendell housing! Ah! Rivendell housing! And so that's really cool. So now here's our Rivendell decoration vendor.
Vannon, may I help you?
No, I'm not buying homesteading coin for anybody. However, there are bundles that you can purchase. And the box, well, you can't see it because my thing's in the way. Hold on. Let me move my box away. Come on. Let's move you out of the way. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we got bundles. We have Autumn in the Trollshaws. And the box will tell you what you're going to get in it. Like this one, it says, contains 3 copies each of the following. Bent red leaf tree, short red leaf tree, small red leaf copse, tall red leaf tree, and thick red leaf tree. So a lot of red leaf trees. So that's the red bundle. There's an orange bundle. There's a barren bundle. There's Autumn in the Trollshaws, which is all of the above. So basically, yeah, you get all 3 bundles, 3 trees of each. So that's really, really cool. And it's actually really nice if you think about it, because if you buy each of the 3 Autumn bundles separately, it's 36 homesteading coins. But if you buy the all-in-one, they knock 3 coins off of that. So that's kind of neat. There's Cedars and Conifers of the Trollshaws. Pine Groves, Monothere. That's where your pine copse are coming from. The Pine Groves of the Trollshaws bundle. 10 homesteading coins. We were talking about that one earlier today. And we were like, where is that? And there's also junipers and so it was like you got your conifers here. Cedars and conifers, pine groves, junipers and evergreens. And then you've got all of the above. Well, all of those 3. I do like that. You got, 12, 10, and 12. And that comes out to 31 here. So apparently they can't math. So all 3 of these separately are 34. Get all 3 in one bundle. It's 31. Elvish Docks bundle. Long Elven Dock. Elven Rope Bridge. Elven Dock Cap. Elven Fishing Net. Elven Dock Crane. Coiled Ropes and Fanciful Barrel. 2 copies of all of those. And then there's Rivendell Construction Kit, which is a series of walls. And again, it does tell you what's in each one. And yeah, I'm sorry, the tooltip is kind of messing up because I've got a thing here. I'll bring this over here. There. So let's try that again. Yeah, now you can see the whole thing. So there's 3 different construction kits. Walls, floors, and structures. And same as before. You buy all 3, you get a discount. Actually, you don't get a discount. Unless I don't know how to math. So, 14 and 10 is 34. 34 and 14 is 48. No. Yeah, these three together are 38. Don't buy the bundle for this one. Wait. Yeah, so these don't add up to the... Yeah, this one is more expensive. Don't buy the bundle for that one, I guess. Ruins of Eregion bundle. Ibulated Imladris bundle. So these don't seem to be... These are two separate bundles. This is all your gazebos. Oh, there's topless things. Put some clothes on! And I'm not telling you how to spend your housing coins. It's not up to me to tell you what to spend your currency on. You do you, buddies. I am not here to sell you anything. So, elvish bed. Hello. Silver framed bed with the blue blanket. A swan bed with a blue blanket. I might have to give me that. Not on this character. Furnishings. We got a decor bundle. That's going to be a banner of starry nights, a tied bundle of books, mahogany bookcase, a marble bookcase, ornate storage box, large silver hearth, mahogany dresser, fish mobile, Alabama, stained glass portrait, stained glass medallion, any stained glass panel. And there's 2 copies of each of those in that bundle. So we got furnishings, beds, furnishing decor, and furnishing lights. I got globes. Standing glowing globe, hanging glowing globe, yellow lantern staff, purple lantern staff, hanging yellow, purple. Why are they yellow and purple? I understand purple because it's the sky outside. There's a patio, so patio chairs and stools, a fish fountain, a bench, and a round patio table. Planters bundles, so this is basically potted plants. And there's couches. 3 copies each of the following silver frame couch and a swan couch. Silver furnishings, elvish furnishings, chairs. Mahogany chair, silver frame chair, winged chair, and patio stool. Again, I'm going to drop a link in chat. This is the link. This is the place if you want to look at good pictures of all of these items. Go to the Encodamilia, run by our good friend Yao. You made a tree tunnel outside? Hell yeah, Luminori. Patio splinters, couches, chairs, tables, and then there's a really ginormous bundle of like all of the furnishing options. Beds, decor, lights, patio, planters, couches, chairs, and tables. There's an Imladris barn. There's a ruined Elven rotunda. There's an elegant retaining wall. So, before you buy any of these, no matter how good they sound, check them out in the Encodamilia first. That way you don't get burned, baby, burn. So, I don't want anybody to get burned by buying something and finding out it isn't what you expected it to be. And if it's not yet on the housing thing, bearing in mind the decor, this furnishing dude is not a limited time thing. So you don't have to worry about him running out of stuff. Does this guy have any Rivendell stuff?
What can I do for you?
Oh, he's got plenty of tapestries and runners and bundles of runners. So these are not specific to Rivendell. But these are all kinds of new bundles that are available. Especially if you wanted some heraldry of places you've already played through in the game. So, that all being said, we have seen all the various places you can buy decor. We haven't yet decided who gets to live where. So I'm gonna go back to... Oh, it's Pippi! Let me hug Pippi. I'm gonna hug Pippi. What the hell? Oh. It's a sleeping pig on a blanket. Alright, we're gonna go back to the... I'm gonna bounce to the kin house. And we're gonna start taking a look at what would appeal to the various members of the kin. Of the band. What would appeal to them the most? Alright, I'm gonna turn off yard hooks for now. Ooh, it's daytime. Let's actually go look and see. Silverharp is already gonna own one torrent. Hold on. Yeah, I already have it flagged for Silverharp, the Bandlever, and Diva. She gets the special one in the specially my #1 neighborhood name, my #1 house opened up. Somebody had it, and then they sold it back. One thing they've been doing is Standing Stone increased the frequency or how quickly sold neighborhoods or houses go back on the market. And that has also been really helpful as well to the community. They'll probably put it back the way it was once the initial housing rush is over. But for right now, let's actually go up here. Let's go to the one at the top. Let's go to the top. I do love a nice waterfall. So this is good to like put a nice, you know... I kind of wish I had a better view of the waterfall. Oops. Well, I'm trying not to fall off my own property. So you do get a view of the last homely house from here, right? It's right there. Little off to the angle. But yeah, you can get a decent view of the valley. But I still don't understand why people like this house the best. If you know why people like this house the best, if you own this house, 2 Torrent Path, why did you want it? Why did you buy it? I am very curious. I'm very curious. Why you want it? What was so important about it to you? And I will warn you that if the neighborhood that I'm mostly aiming for suddenly becomes available, I'm going to be doing a lot of buying and switching stuff around. Even knowing that I'm going to lose 10% of my original purchases. Because I do honestly think it was a deliberate decision not to put housing refunds back to 100%. I think they kind of wanted to discourage the potential for people doing it so quickly that it would fuck up the database. Guarandis wanted it for the view. You like that? Plus the proximity to the town center. Yeah, 1 Torrent Path. This was my favorite house. The 2 Torrent Path I didn't understand quite as much because this one had town services. It had a better view of waterfalls and multiple waterfalls and mountains, and you can see some other houses. They're not too close. And this bush here needs to go, but you know, am I not seeing it from here? I'm literally not seeing it from here. I'm gonna jump up there. So this one can't see the last homely house. I thought it could. Can I fall off of here? That'd be funny. Thanks, Inario, is thwarting me today. Maybe I... Whoa. Oh. I'm gonna get myself stuck in my own house. That's amazing. Maybe it's just the lighting still. Because it feels like it wants to, it's trying to rain or something, and maybe... Do I have precipitation turned off? No, I haven't turned on. No? So it looks like the house up there can't get a view of the last homely house, but this one can't. I can see the gazebo, like the gazebo right above the place where if you do your level oh man, what is it? Well, there it is. Hold on. Hold on. There it is. I just needed to wait for the day file to change a little bit more. I was being impatient. But this one is, in my opinion, the better view of the last homely house. Let's turn off nameplates. Let's just check this out. This one is actually really nice because you get the view of the path up into the high moors. Yeah, I think this is going to be my favorite. Your neighbor at One Hyberg Road plunked a large cluster of ice shards in his yard. It's so anachronistic. You love it. I might do that too if I get some. But let's talk about who's going to get which house. So, in the Ithilhere neighborhood, this character will have that house. She's going to be the diva. She's not going to hang out with the rest of the band. Well, I mean, it's got to be the way it is. They open up some more neighborhoods on Landreval. Only like 5 of them. Though one of the names that just popped up is like, oh yeah, that's an art spammer because it's got part of a name of a series of art spammers I've been precipitously banning on various discords. I'm an admin on, or a moderator. But there is one that I was like, oh my god, the Gallic frogs need to be in this neighborhood. It's Imlad Gaul, Gaul, Gaul being the old name for France, because the leader of the Gallic frogs is Vercingetorix. Vercingetorix? I don't know how to say the name. There's a ton of new neighborhoods on Peregrin, and even some with... I know, right? Well, there's some that have been there for a while. Like, nobody has bought the kin house in Karaskar for like an hour and a half. I've been... Actually, for longer than that, because I've been streaming for an hour and 15 minutes, and that's been there for like an hour before that. But they still haven't put up the one name that I'm looking for the most. So, knowing my luck, it's going to happen when I'm like, you know, in the restroom or something. Anyhow, so this one is definitely going to Silverharp in the other neighborhood. So, we still have a bunch of other characters to get homes for. So, who's the next fanciest character who would want the other one torrent path? Now, let me remind myself of my band people's names. We have Drum Solo, who is a stout axed. Oh, you're watching me type. Hold on. The window's doing some weird shit. Hold on. You gonna behave yourself? So we have a stout axe, we have a hobbit, we have 2 race of men, we have 1 regular elf, and we have 1... This is actually more difficult than I thought it would be. 2 torrent paths. Who would want the next best look? Well, honestly, 2 torrent paths feels to me kind of... Well, let's take a look. So, we're on 1 torrent path. Who would like to live here the most? I kind of think... Honestly, I kind of think maybe Rebel Base would like this. Because his first house was actually in Bree. And he was literally like 1 hop over the wall out of his yard right next to the stable master. So I think he would want to be closest to the stable master. And he wouldn't want a really big place because I don't think again, he's a dude who'd sleep on a couch. He wouldn't care. Pass out on the mattress in the back room or something because, you know, he's probably stoned. Or done the elven version of coke. I don't know. So... Let me think about this. I'm thinking this would probably be good for... I was thinking, well, maybe who's the fanciest of the of the band? Drum solo, cowbell. She's a hobbit. I always have to remember the band in the order that I set them up. It's always very confusing. Roll bass. Bassoon is the elf. Violin. And bagpipes. Alright, so there's our names. So... I kind of think violin is fancy. I think she would want to have one of the kin houses, but I think she would want one kind of toward the back. But let me think about 1 torrent. Yeah, I think 1 torrent path rebel base is gonna want that one. So he's gonna get this 1 torrent path. I'm gonna decorate this in the style of basically an 80s glam, an 80s hair band dude imported into Middle Earth, but still not. I mean, that's the concept of the character, but he's still gonna fit Middle Earth. He's just gonna be a little bit a wild boy, but he's definitely going to want something closest to the town services. Okay. Okay, so Rebel Base has been chosen. So let's move on. Let's go up the hill to 2. Let's turn my stuff back on so I can ride my pony. We're not going to get to a lot of decorating tonight. Mainly because I'd have to switch characters to a non-band character. Here's one that's got all my housing decos. So, the next character I'm considering is Stoutaxe the Dwarf, the Stoutaxe Dwarf. Drum solo, the Stoutaxe Dwarf. So this one feels like a nice view of the mountains right here. This one would probably be a good one for the Stoutaxe Dwarf. Because you don't see too good of a view of the waterfall from here, which is nice. I don't think the drum solo would necessarily care about the view down into the valley, which again looks very stunning. I think this one needs to go to an elf. I think this should be Bassoon's house, honestly. Bassoon would want to look down in to see the last homely house. Okay, so 2 torrent path goes to Bassoon. Bassoon used to be Bassoon TM, but again, that started breaking at my immersion, so I was like, you know, whatever, Bassoon. Just Bassoon. Yeah, this one's going to be built up in an elven style. I'm really going to go ham on finding like elven. A lot of the elven trees are going to be here. And inside is going to be a lot of the elven decorations. Rebel base on his 1 torrent path is going to be a little bit definitely race of man stuff, but I think he might actually go for a lot of the Umbar colorful stuff. The Umbar and Shagana, basically the Umbar and Shagana stuff. Okay, so this is 3 Welling Way that we're about to check out. This one is also, ooh, this one's even better in terms of being close to the mountain. This one, I think, is probably going to be the best one for my stout axe. So 3 Welling Way is drum solo. Okay. So that's just our Hobbit, our Race of Man, and our Bjorning. So it's really going to come down to who wants the small house and who wants the big house. Because there's 2 big houses and 1 small house left. And you would think, well, why don't you give the small house to the Hobbit? And that would actually kind of make sense. Because theoretically, Hobbit furnishings would be smaller. Right? And a Hobbit wouldn't necessarily bringing their entire Smeal over from the Shire to set up shop here. But Hobbits don't like heights, right? This base house up here. I was also kind of thinking maybe this deluxe house would be better for the Bjorning because it's kind of secluded, mostly. They do have a little bit of privacy here, and they could put like beehives and stuff on the yard. Yeah, I think 1 Welling Way should go to Nagpipes. That's gonna definitely be Nagpipes. So, out of these 2, I'm kind of thinking... But the only thing I would think about, you know, this particular house, 2 Welling Way, is it does kind of give off the feel of, well, it's not quite a Hobbit hole, but there's, you know, firm mountain behind it. On the other hand, Cal Bell is kind of a saucy Hobbit. She's not adventurous as such. Not like, you know... But... like, we saw how, for example, Frodo wasn't adventurous. Bilbo wasn't adventurous. Merry and Pippin were adventurous. Samwise, no. Samwise was not adventurous. He did what he had to do for Mr. Frodo, right? But I think Cowbell being willing to be in a band with all these big folk and a stout axe, that's pretty adventuresome for her. So I'm also thinking violin, probably. She would be kind of like, maybe she's not like... Violin, by the way, is from Rohan. So she's not like a shield maiden necessarily, but she's more of a high class woman. Her name is Violin. She doesn't play a fiddle, she plays a violin. So I'm thinking she's going to be more of the deluxe house holder. So that's it. Cowbell is going to get the small one up on the hill, being a little bit more adventurous than your average hobbit, but not so adventurous as she would jump down the cliff. And then Violin will get to Highburg Road. Sweet. Alrighty, so we have decided who's getting what. I'm going to save this file. Indigo. I'll put Lotro on here. Lotro, Indigo, plant. Oh, I don't know how to spell. Plant, neighborhood. Alright. So now that file has been saved, I can get it the hell off my screen. Go bye-bye. Alright, and so now I'm actually going to switch characters to the one who has all my housing decorations. And that is going to be Silver. Oh, wait a minute. Silver's on my other account. That's going to be a little bit of a problem, because my other account is currently tied up at the housing broker. That's a little bit of a problem, chap. Because Silver has got to be the one to place everything. Well, not everything, but there's definitely a lot. Let's make sure I'm not missing nothing. People are chatting in my Lotro channel. What? Elda got a house. In the neighborhood, pretty much named after her. It's very close spelling. I'm hilarious. It's hilarious. Okay, so that is basically the long and the short of Rivendell housing. And I know some folks have said, well, these lawns are like so flat, there's no character to them. I'm like, yeah, it's because you put stuff on them. And then there's some other neighborhoods, it's like, but the grass is too tall. And so Scenario gave us short grass. I mean, the fences do have a little bit of vegetation around them. By the way, fence hooks! Fence hooks! Where's the fence hook? Where is the fence hook? There is the fence hook. Look at the fence hook! Wait, what is this? Oh, I get a green firefly. Oh yeah, from the thingies. So this one, again, this one has a really nice view as well. I mean, you can look down. Well, actually, you can look down at your at the water below. So you do have a good look from here. You don't just see the water from that side of the thing. Also, you know, you got water on both sides. And then you got town services like right down here. Very, very handy and useful. So yeah. Rivendell housing, it is very pretty. It is very autumnal. I love that word. Autumnal. Not to be confused with autumno. The old stronghold of the big bad of all of Middle Earth. Okay. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I've only been streaming for an hour and a half. Is there anything else you'd like to see about Rivendell housing while I'm putzing around here? Because I got a shit ton of decorating to do. And I need to go find all of my stuff. And I actually don't want to start decorating until I write down a bit of a plan. I want to have a plan before I start mucking about here. Beyond, basically, like, Rebel Base, he's a race of man, so his stuff is going to be filled with stuff from, basically, the human decorations. He's going to be going for Bree, obviously, Rohan, Gondor. But I honestly, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe he would go for Breetown and stuff like that. Northern men. And Violin being fancy, she'd want the pretty colors. She would want... yeah, I think Violin would be decorating, who'd be, you know, resident in this house. You've been earwormed all about that base, no rebels. There is actually a nerdy version about that, but it's about space. About Star Trek. Well, actually, it's about sci-fi in general. But yeah. I'm gonna have a cupcake while I'm thinking about this. Yeah, I have a feeling Violin would be the one to have the fancier stuff. I think Rebel Base doesn't give a shit what he sits on. If it's fancily carved, it'll be cool, but he's not gonna really pay attention. He just wants to sit down someplace. I think that's gonna work. Oh, cupcake. Good night, Lunori. Cowbell, of course, will be all about the hobbits. Hobbit stuff. Drum solo will be all about the dwarves. Learn how to spell dwarf. The kin house. I'm really gonna need to think about lighting and getting all of those instruments on the walls. Definitely want to turn the Great Hall into like a stage, like a performance area, with seating around it. Maybe a little a merch table or concession stand in the back by the stairs. Nagpipes, I think she's just going to go super rustic. So what I could do for Rebel Base is Nagpipes. Since she's Bjorning, she could go for all the Bjorning / rustic stuff. And Rebel Base could go for Gondor, like Rohan and Gondor. Ooh. Hold on, Rohan and Gondor. And I'm typing in the document, which you can't see anymore. And Bassoon would be elf stuff. And Silverharp also elf stuff, but the fancier elf stuff. Because Silverharp is Noldor. Gotta go. Speaking of Noldor, I found this by accident. Because I was setting up my character for Saturday. By the way, Saturday is not only all right for fighting, it's also all right for a charity marathon. I am going to do an anniversary scavenger hunt marathon on Saturday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern right here. And we're going to raise money for the Extra Life Children's Charity. And I got a shit ton of stuff from Cordoba to give away. So we're going to have giveaways, shenanigans. Some of you're a real copper of the Knoll. So what Modifier is referring to, and I can't show it in full because it's only visible in the little teeny preview windows. But I would like to point out something that is coming. So I was looking for my milestone style and my movement style for my character that I'm going to be running the scavenger hunt. And so I went to look for milestone under emotes, actually. Now, you might see all of these like, well, you only got the one. Well, this character isn't the one on the account in question. But I had all of these highlighted as I have them, except for one. And this is how I discovered there's a new coffer coming. It's not obviously this way. They haven't dropped it today or anything because it would have been in today's sales, I imagine. It's possible. Maybe they'll drop it tomorrow on Friday. They've done that before. And so I found out that there's a... I want to show the milestone last because it's actually the coolest freaking shit. But I'm going to show you the pet first. So the adjective for this coffer is the timeless. So there's a pet. The actual coffer is called the timeless whatever coffer of the Noldor. And so we have a timeless elf hawk. So timeless is the word. Now that I saw that there was a milestone I didn't have, and I saw there's like this of that. So now I'm searching for timeless. And well, they've got to have a mount for it, right? So there's a little hawk. There's a steed. It's kind of shiny. I mean, it's mostly white. I'm still like, the trappings are not silver. What the hell? But okay. Well, I have to see it like up close to see what I think about it. But timeless steed of the Noldor. And so the emote that I was looking at... Well, I found another emote. Because I did a search for timeless. So there's two emotes here. One is called Deed Timeless. And now there's going to be a Deed... Let's see. There's a Deed Default... Which it doesn't tell us what that does. It only turns off now, but there's a new animation that happens. Something involving deeds. Whether, I don't know, maybe you complete a deed, all of a sudden this thing goes off, kind of like when you level up, you get the tree going up and around you. Maybe it's like that. But this is what it looks like. It's very hard to see. It looks like Laurelin, kind of. And you can hear there's a sound effect that goes with it. In fact, let's do an Alt-R and see what the name of that thing is. It's called Light Beam Loop. Yeah, Light Beam Loop. Interesting. VFX Light Beam Loop #1. So there was that. So there's a deed, something to do with a deed that you can turn on that happens something deed. But this is the other one. This is the one that really got my attention. I'm waiting for this. It's like both trees, and then it forms a doorway, and then you walk through. Oh, let's check it out again. It looks so good. But this is not yet live. I want to express to you, this was not yet live. I don't think we were supposed to see it yet. I just happened to stumble across that ship. And I did not see anything about timeless things in the birding. I didn't see anything about timeless whatevers. Yeah, Tea Time the Sands, that's from, yeah, there's no baubles about it. So, no, doesn't appear to be any baubles, but it sounds like Timeless Something of the Noldor is going to be an outfit. What's the outfit look like? I want to know. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough. So, keep an eye out for Cordo to officially announce that shit. Because I don't think we were supposed to know. But too bad. It's visible. I'm on Peregrin. Sorry. I will also tell you I generally really dislike data mining in general terms. For honestly, kind of like for reasons like this. But once it's on Bull Roar or it's on live, not my fault. It's there. So anybody can find it. So that being said, we have decided what everything's going to look like. I think I might actually call it a little bit early tonight because I really need to do a lot more shenanigans here. And I have had a long day, and I also need to kind of rest up because I have got a long ass stream on Saturday. It's going to start at 10 a.m., probably run till midnight, 1 a.m., depending on how long it takes me to get through the thing. And I also kind of want to actually do some anniversary stuff, or other chicanery. But I do want to get some rest. It was a long work week, and my supervisor yelled at me for something. And she was kind of right, but the way she went about it, oh, it's so awesome. So, there you have it. I'm going to be bundling this video up. I might cut out the stuff about the coffer because, again, that hasn't been officially announced. I kind of feel bad. But I did want to kind of show it to you as well. We have something to look forward to. Because if I didn't tell you, somebody would say and would talk about it. However, I will be on Locher stream tomorrow during Corey's usual time slot because he's away. He's doing a thing. He will also be away next week, so he won't be back on Locher stream until the 15th. Because next week we've got another moot coming. I think it's Mountain Moot. Yeah, it's Mountain Moot. So we're sending him to Denver. I don't get to go, but, you know, that's fun. The last time I flew to Denver, I wound up getting stuck in the airport overnight, so. I did, however, get to watch David Gilmour in concert in L.A. at the Hollywood Bowl once I actually got from Denver to L.A. It was a fucking amazing concert. It was 10 years ago. Actually, it was 10 years ago in August. No, 10 years ago in April? Or was it March? I think it was March because... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was March. Anywho. Yeah, I think I'm going to call a little bit early. I know I normally stream for 3 hours, but I'm going to be doing my usual stream tomorrow. And I can also run a little bit later tomorrow because there's nobody after me. In terms of questing and whatnot. And Saturday's the big charity live stream, so... we're all doing the thing for Extra Life. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, there's going to be a lot of giveaways. And I can even give you folks a preview of said giveaways. What do I have to give away, chat? We're going to have some ceremonial Cloaks of the Misty Night. It's a cosmetic. The Samwise housing decoration. A few Sleeping Gray Cats. Aid to Those in Need title. Here are the small folk titles. And the Chestnut Corgi. And I may also have some points codes floating around that just were lying around that might work and they might not work. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anywho. I'd like to thank y'all for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble while I rode through the neighborhoods. Well, I see that a friend of mine has just logged in, so... Probably going to go say hi to them in a minute. They just popped up another new neighborhood. I didn't see that one yet. So they're still working on it. Hooray! Good times. All right. I'm going to stop waffling. And happy anniversary, Lotro. 19 next year is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. The 20th anniversary is going to be hot. Anyhow, I'm going to get this light out of my face. Thanks for watching. Again, if you like the channel, please drop a follow on Twitch or a subscribe on YouTube. Both of those are free. And if you want to subscribe on Twitch, I'm not going to stop you. But not this weekend. This weekend, subscriptions don't count toward the charity thing. So don't subscribe to my channel this weekend. Wait till after the marathon. Then subscribe away. Do the things. Ooh. Tier Thing just opened up, but that's not what I was looking at. Man, Scenario is tormenting me with this. I'm hoping. There's one name that I'm really hoping for, and if I can get it, I will move the entire neighborhood and take the 10% penalty for transferring neighborhoods. I will totally do that. Anyhow, be good. If you can't be good at it. I will talk to you all later. Bye. Button.